Good day, everyone. My name is Graphics. If you look at the left hand side of the screen, you will see three given views of a figure. And the question that back up this figure says draw according to scale 2:1 an isometric projection of the views illustrated in the figure below. Do not show any hidden details. Add the correct projection symbol, add the title and a scale, and any dimension and any extra dimension correctly. Then we have neatness. I don't really need to disturb myself with that. All right, so let's just kick start. So if you look at the figure, it is in first angle projection. Why? Because of the elevation, which is this, is on top of the plan. And how did I know this is the elevation? The one at the center of attraction, the middleman here, is always the elevation. So once the elevation is the middleman, where is the plan? Then the plan will be under it. Are you with me now? So the plan is always under the elevation, but if the plan is on top of the elevation, it is what? Third angle projection, but this is in first angle, and we're told to what? Assemble this together. When you hear the word isometric projection, the first thing you have to do is for you to draw your isometric axis, right? That is, you draw your vertical point this way, your vertical line this way. Can you see that? And the horizontal line this way using your set square, 60-degree set square, and we have this way. And the other one here that we have to this way. Can you see that? So this is what we have. Now, if you look at the figure, like I told you earlier, look at the figure closely, we get the entire length. So the entire length of the elevation is 20 because the entire length of the plan here is 20. Are you with me now? Because if you check the elevation correctly, you cannot see the total length there. But if you now go down, look at the plan, the total length is given as what? As 20. So, and we are told that we should draw in 2:1, and that is enlargement. You are enlarging. That is saying 2/1 times whatever distance you are giving. So 2/1 is 2, whatever distance you are giving multiplied by 2, that's what they mean. So whatever we are measuring, multiply it by 2. So since here it is 20, you multiply 20 by 2, you'll be having what? 40. So I'm going to measure 40 here. From 0 to 40. Can you see that? Then the entire width here, if you look at it very well, you can get the width. You can get the width here from the end elevation, and if you look at it, it is not given there. So you check from the plan also. So if you look at it, the height of the plan from here to here is 25. Then the diameter of this circular shape here is the outer diameter is 20. So the radius will be what? 10. So 10 plus 25 is what? 35, right? So multiply 35 by 2, you are going to be having what? 70. So we have 70. So from 0 to 70. Can you see that? And the entire height given in this figure here, you get the height either from the elevation or from the end view, and that's given as what? 20. You can see that. So don't get confused with all this extra line you're seeing. You check, you see that there's a demarcation here, meaning that this is not part of the diagram because there's a space in between. So wherever you're drawing, you see space between the line and the main figure, you know that is what? Your dimension. So the entire height here is what? 20. So multiply by 2, that also be what? 40. So I see from here, I'll measure 40. So from 0 to 4 is 40. So I will use this to form a box, right? So when I place it this way, I'll draw out my box from here up. From here also up. So whatever I did here, I'll do it here too. Using my 30 degree set square, I'll draw an angle of 30. Ensure that it is on your T-square for you to get it perfectly. And here also place it this way. I'll get another 30. Now move it to this point to get another 30, where I am going to now close it up here. Hope you can see what I am doing. So I have carved out the entire length, height, and width. Now it's for me to start drawing my diagram. I will start from the circular part here to make it more easier for me. So now if you look at from the plan that we have here, it is circular. Altogether, it is what? Circular. So the plan is telling me that the circular part is at this end. Oh, it's telling me. The elevation is just looking it straight, but the plan is telling me it's at this end, the top upper part here. Are you with me? So I'll start drawing it from this point. So what I'll do is I will take my compass, right, and I'll place it here to this point here. Can you see that? So once I've done that, I'll just come and mark here. That's the first thing I'll do. Then I'll use my instrument to complete it to form a box there. Can you see that? And I'm going to bring it down also this way. Also bring it down to this way. And I'm going to close it up here. Hope you can see what I am doing. Is that taken? Now the next thing is, if you look at the figure closely, you will see that there are three circular shapes there: the outer, the inner, and the inner. So how will you know? The first outer is where you're seeing here, this outer part. So let's do that first. So how we're going to do that, you're going to connect the diagonals. Your longest diagonal from here to here is longer than from here to here, so you connect those two together. Can you see that? And the next one is you connect these two together also. Just use this, don't just do them together, just mark the center with the radius of this to this. You mark it to get the center of this figure. So after you've done that, you will now use your instrument. Remember, I'm always putting it on my T-square, and you will now draw this passing through this point here, and you draw this passing through this point here. So I can easily name it just for simplicity's sake. I can say here should be 1, here should be 2, here should be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 for simplicity's sake. Now if I take my instrument, I'm going to connect from 3 to 8, and I'll connect from 3 to 6 like writing your letter V. Hope you can see that. So since the figure is covering the entire part, so I'll connect 6 to what? To 5. Can you see that? I'll place it here also on 9 here, on 7 here. I'll connect 2 to what? To 4. Hope you can see that. Can you see that? So where it meets here is my point A, and when it meets here is my point B. Just for simplicity, you don't have to do all this. So I'll place it at A, and I'll connect from point 8 to 2. Can you see that? Then I'll come to B, and I'll connect from point 6 to 4. From where? Point 6 to what? To 4. Hope you can see that. Now after I've done that, that's the entire part of it. So the same thing happens at the base too. So let me construct that at the base. Just like I drew my diagonal from 1 to 5. Remember here it also is what? 1 to what? To 5. So I'll connect 1 to 5. Can you see that? And also I can easily make it form my 4 points. So if I draw this out this way, I'll also draw this out this way. So they're all meeting at this point here. Right? So I can easily just bring with the help of my t-square here and my set square, I'll just move this point to that same diagonal line, because this is a diagonal, this is another diagonal, so I'll just connect, just mark the point instead of me doing all this again. So I want to avoid that. So I'll come to point A also. From here, this is what? Point A straight line, right? So this is another point B, and this is another what? Point A. And this is 0.7, this is another 0.7 here. So all you just do simply is draw your line from here. Let me use faint line first. I can use my straight line, but that will touch here. And draw your line from here, faint line, that will touch here. Hope you can see that. So I can just come from point here. I'll just move it to the sides of it, so that I can just draw this way. Faint line. Can you see that? Then I'll come to A. I'll do the same thing to this point here. Then I'll have this. Hope you can see that. So I'll leave this way first, just faint line. I have my reason. Let's leave that first. Now I've drawn out this cylinder. We are moving. Now if you look carefully, the thickness of this base here, it has a thickness of how many? If you check here, this length here, from this point to this point is from somewhere to this point here. So the height is given as what? 5. So you multiply 5 by 2. Remember, whatever you're using, multiply by 2. And you'll be having 10. Am I correct? So you measure 10 millimeter upward on this same figure here. So measure 10 millimeter upward. So if I measure my 10 millimeter upward from here, from 0 to 10, I'll use it to form another box. This is my instrument. I'll do another 10 again, except you're not using your instrument. So place it this way, and you're going to connect from here straight down to here. It's meeting here. Now you also connect from here straight down to here. So this is another 0.5, right? And this is another 0.1. So I need another 0.7 here. So I'll just connect the two this way and this way. So this is another 0.7. So we have 7, 7, and another 7 here. Are we there? So since you join 1 and 5, you also join 1 and 5 here too. And you have another A and B also. This is A and B, so I'll have another B here. I'll transfer another B here. So why am I doing this? You see shortly. So I'll come here from 7 here. Since I use this to get this arc here, look at what I'm showing you. To get this arc here, right? I will use this to get the other arc I need here. All together. So I will not just complete it, I'll just do it as my faint line this way. Then if I place it here at A, then I'm going to connect from this point to just touch here. I will not complete it, and the reason is this. Now there's a straight line. If you check the figure that is coming to touch here, that line you're seeing, the plan is telling me it is rectangular, right? So I'll just draw a straight line from this point to touch here. See that I'm taking it now. Then from here to touch here, right? And I'll close it up from here to touch here, and from here to touch here, right? Now just from here to touch this side here. Can you see that? And I am going to close here up, and I'll close here up too. Hope you can see that. Then I can easily, with what I can see there, the circular figure is closing everywhere looking from the plan. So that means I can tick in from here, from this point. So I'll tick in it to this point. Then from this point B, this is B, then another one. Right? That's what we have. So this is just moving in from here. So we move forward. Now we've done this aspect. I know we have another one in, we're not done with this. We'll proceed. So from here, there's another circle inside that has a diameter of what? Of 15. So since the diameter of 15 multiplied by 2, that is 30. So half of it, 15, 15. So you measure for the inner circle, so you measure 15 each. So from 0 to 15, I'll place it here, and I'll mark, this is the center point, right? And I'm going to mark 15 to the left, 15 up, 15 to the right, and 15 down. So this point I mark, I'll use them to form another box. So this is one of the points. I will draw a vertical line, a parallel line, the one parallel to this. I'll come here also, I'll draw another parallel line. I'll turn it away this way. I'll draw another parallel line along across that point. And I'll come this way too. I'll draw another parallel line across that point. Hope you can see that. So we have another point also. So this point you see, this 3 is another point 3 here. So I'll write another V. So from point 3 here to the inner point 8, this is another 8 here. This outer one, this inner one. From this point 3 here to the inner point 6. Hope you can see that. So I will now draw my circular figure there again. So let me start from here, from the inner one here to this point. I have this. From this side here also to this point. I have this. Then from this side also here to this side, where it meets this point here, the other one, I'm going to be having this. Then from this inner one also here, I'll be having this. So that is the inner part. Then there's another one again. There are 3 of them there, as you can see. So we're not told from the elevation here that after you've drawn the inner one here, you still go in again by a distance of let's see, by a distance of 5 from here for you to draw another level. They call it more of a countersunk. Are you with me now? So I'm going to go in, see what I want to do. I might not really stress myself much with that. This is what you just do. Measure a distance from here now. Measure a distance of 5 millimeter downward from this outer corner here. So just use, I'm using this guy and I'll just bring it down. So if I measure 5 millimeter here, let's use my instrument so you can see from this point, from 0 from 0 this is 5 millimeter. It's stopping here, right? And I will just take it from that point. Since I use this to get this arc here, hope you can see that. I'll use this to get the other arc too. Can you see that? I use this to get this arc. I'll use this one to get the other arc. Hope you can see that. So I'll have to complete it. So I can just come here, and if I complete it here, it doesn't make much sense, right? So I will now come to this point. I'll take this from this point down by another 5 millimeter because it's the same figure. So I'll just come here, see what I want to do. Draw a line here just to avoid us doing the same constructions. So from this point here, take it down. From this point here, I'll take it down. So the same 5. This is 5 here, right? That we used to get this here. To the same 5, I'll just mark here. I'll also place it here. I'll mark 5 down. So on that 5, that is when I'm going to draw this arc here. And from this 5, that is where I will draw this arc here. Can you see that? Now remain one, because this one is just telling me from the plan here that we have the elevation that's telling me is in. There's another one going in that's going through, and that is the 10 millimeter diameter circle, the one inner one, right? So what will I do? I'm going to take this point by 10. Is it by 10? No, I'll take it in by 5, but the diameter is 10, so I'll take it in by 5. Just the same 5 that we have here. From this point, just take it in, then measure your 5. So from 0, this is 5 here. Then I'm going to draw my 4 cardinal points there. On it, I'll just draw a line going in this way, and I'll draw another line going in this way. So, and diameter is 10 multiplying by 2, that is 20. So I'll use a radius of 10 each. So use a radius of 10 millimeter each. So this is what I'll do. This is a radius of 10, right? And I'll place it here at the center point where I'll mark 10. I'll mark 10. I'll mark 10, and also I'll mark 10. So I'll bring out this point that I marked. All these points you see here. I will draw my box out of it, just like I've been doing all this while. It's just that repeating the same process every now and then. This, through those points that you marked. This, so this is the box here, right? So I'll repeat the same process. So where this box and this one meet, they're meeting here. Then I'll be able to place it here, and I'll draw an arc this way. Hope you can see that. Where this meet this, I'll draw another arc this way. So it's not really covering. Then if I should draw my diagonal from where they meet, they are meeting, this is coming here, meeting this here. So if I draw my diagonal to come and touch here, and I draw another diagonal to come and touch here, right? So with the help of this is the line, right? This line. Then I'll just draw another parallel line that is parallel to it at the base here. Can you see at this base here? I'll just draw this. So where it meets this, that is where I'm going to draw my curve. Can you see that? Then I'll come here. Where it meets here too. I'll have this. Hope you can see that. So that is what we have there. So can you see that? So I've taken it out. So I've taken the rest out too. So there's the two circle at this part here. There's a circle here, and there's another one here, as you can see. So what is the diameter of this circle? Diameter is given to be 5, right? Diameter is 5, and both of them are 10 meters apart after measuring 5 from the side. So this is what we'll do here. I'll measure 5 from here. I'll measure 5 from here, from 0. This is 5, which will be 10. Remember, multiply by 2. And I'll rule my line along that point. I'll rule my line across that point. Right? And also measure another one again, 10 millimeter. You just measure your 10 from here, from 0. This is 10. This is 5, so I'm multiplying by 2. Then from another 0, this is 10 again. Can you see that? And you draw your line to go across it. This will be your center line here, and another center line here. So I measured 5. I measured 10. I measured 10. I measured 10 and I measured another 10. So to get the center here, meaning that from here to is 10. So and we're given the diameter to be 5, meaning diameter also there is given to be the radius is 5. Right? If diameter is 5, multiply 5 by 2, that is 10, and the radius is what? Is 5. Because we're using twice the size, 2:1. So I'll now measure 5 millimeter each at this point. It looks very small, but just for your understanding, that is why I'm just taking it step by step. So if you're finding the video helpful, please don't forget to like it and also subscribe. So when I place it here, this 5, I'll come here, I'll mark 5, 5, 5, and 5. I'll come here also, I'll mark 5, 5, and 5. So I'll just draw a box across that point this way. This, 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 and also this, 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 and this. So what do you notice? This is where I am going to draw my figure here, my circular figure. So from here, I can get this. From here also, I can get this. From here, I can get this. From here also, I can get this. Alright, then the diagonals, like that. What we've been doing all along. Those join the diagonals. So in a nutshell, this will be covering this up. This will be covering this up. This will be covering this, just to save our time. This is what we're having there. Check the figure very well. This is the isometric projection of that given figure that you can see. Though we were told that there's no hidden detail should be shown. So whatever hidden thing you're seeing is inside here, you cannot see it, right? So we move forward. So what this is just telling you, this hidden figure you're seeing is just that this one here is going in and it's going in. So there's another kind of let me take it down. Another kind of circular base in between. So we want to not to do that. So if you have found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and also share the video. Thanks for watching.